severe, but as far as the tornado is concerned, that means that we are seeing some possible rotation. So if we put the radar back on there and take a look at the winds in this area, that will allow us to see a little bit better of what we are looking at here. And I will do a little investigation to see what's going on with our winds. As of right now, winds are not horribly high. So this is about the same kind of a storm that was moving earlier, and that was near Lauderdale County. But honestly, I want to very stress this enough. Helena and West Helena, you all need to be in your safe place at this time. Anywhere that is in this severe thunderstorm, this tornado warned storm right now needs to be in their safe place. So North Tunica, please make sure that you are in your safe place. Make sure that you're in your safe place because this storm is going to continue to push eastward. So that is definitely something that is concerning. You want to make sure that you are aware of what's going on right now. I'm going to put another storm track on it. I'm going to read the bulletin to make sure that we are drawing our storm track in the correct way so that everyone is safe in that area. And I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can see it's literally this one cell. It's a very large cell, but this right here is the strongest portion of the storm where we could be seeing a little bit of rotation in that storm. And that's why the National Weather Service went ahead and they issued that. We look at the rotation, so the shear, which you can see very tiny right there by Helena is that little green speck. And if we take a look at our shear track, you can see earlier when I said that we were watching this storm, it was tracking into Arkansas, and it's just a little bit of shear, which is great. That's showing us it's not a lot of rotation. If we were seeing that red and that green and in a very small line, that would have been very alarming for us here in the Mid-South. But as of right now, it looks like there's just a very small rotation working in that storm. And the hail size is not very impressive either. But we are still going to put a storm track on here so that we can get a better idea of exactly who needs to be in their safe place at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another storm track on there. If you're in Helena, West Helena, please make sure that you're in your safe place. Time now, once again, 1:32 p.m. as of right now. Clayton, please make sure you are in your safe place. Maud at 1:34 p.m. Powell at 1:35 p.m. Lula at 1:40 p.m. Sarah at 1:42 p.m. You want to make sure that you're in all of your safe places, especially down there in Sledge at 1:54 p.m. That gives you plenty of time right now to get in your safe place. If you're just now joining us, if you're trying to figure out what is going on and why we are on your TV, it's because the National Weather Service has issued a new tornado warning, and it is for DeSoto County, Phillips County, Tunica, Lee, and Tate County in Mississippi. So quite a few counties, and the hail size could be on the larger side, but really we're watching for some rotation, especially in this area. This warning does not expire until 2:15 p.m., but the National Weather Service could decide to expire it a little early. But as of right now, we are watching and continuing to monitor this storm for its severity and for some rotation that's being involved right now. As of right now, this is radar indicated. So when we say radar indicated, that means that we're not tracking an actual tornado that's on the ground, but we use our tools to let us know exactly what we can anticipate. So when we look at the rotation, we look at the shear. As of right now, this is not looking very impressive based off our system, which is good news for you. We take a look at our lightning to see exactly how much lightning is involved in that storm, and this is showing a little bit less, but we're starting to see a little bit more of an uptick there. So that really lets us know that it is a strong storm for sure. And, you know, our current temperatures right now are well above average. So you really need to make sure that you are making a plan, even if you're not in this area where this tornado warning is involved. You need to make sure that you have a plan in place just in case. It's better for you to be safe because this storm is very intense right now, especially in North Mississippi. I'm going to put another storm track on it just so that we can continue to have that on your screen, just so that you know exactly where you should be taking cover at and what you should be watching out for. There you go. So Helena, West Helena, still this storm is right on your doorstep. So 1:33 p.m., which is right now, 1:39 p.m. for Powell, Hamlin at 1:41 p.m., Lula at 1:43 p.m., Gerlach Mill at 1:47 p.m., Crenshaw at 1:53 p.m., Longtown at 1:54 p.m., Sledge at 1:58 p.m., and and 2:03 p.m. for Como. Please make sure that you are in your safe place. Have discussions right now of where you need to go. This is the kind of weather that we're going to continue to monitor throughout this evening because there is a tornado watch in place until 7 o'clock. So we have around 6 more hours before we should be what we call completely clear. So you need to make sure, no matter where you live in the Mid-South, make sure that you are in your safe place. And I'll do a little bit of a reset too so that we all can see what's going on. Because if you live here in Memphis, you're probably wondering, why are you on TV right now? Because there's not much activity, and that may be true. But we are keeping our eye on this tornado-warned cell right now that is in North Mississippi. The Metro Memphis area not seeing much activity yet. However, we have to keep our eye on some of these storms that are continuing to pop up because they could gain intensity very quickly. There was a tornado warning for Crockett and Lauderdale counties. That storm is still moving there. It's just not strong enough for there to be a tornado warning for it. And you can see there is a new cell that is tornado warned that's outside of our viewing area. But right now we're on the air because of that tornado warning that is in North Mississippi. And I'll zoom in just a little bit more again, and I'll put another storm track on it. We definitely believe that the storm track is needed here so that we can make sure that everyone is safe and in their safe place. If you are in this, you could be hearing the tornado sirens right now. Your weather radio might be going off. That lets you know that you need to be in your safe place. So Maud at 1:37 p.m., Powell at 1:39 p.m., Lula at 1:43 p.m., and for reference, it is 1:36. So Gerlach, Mill at 1:47 p.m., Crenshaw at 1:53 p.m., Sledge at 1:58 p.m., Como at 2:02 p.m., Horatio at 2:05 p.m., and Sardis at 2:10 p.m. This storm will be on your doorstep and making some big impact where you live. So please make sure that you are paying close attention. As of right now, we are definitely not seeing any major confirmation of any storm damage, which is great news right now here as we keep an eye on the National Weather Service right now. There's also the storm that is moving to the north of us, so there's a lot of activity in our chat with them. So they're also discussing multiple things as well. So if you are in Tunica, if you know anyone in Tunica, please make sure that they are aware as well that this storm could be making some impacts. We all know that the casinos are there. If someone is there on this Saturday afternoon, please give them a call. Make sure that they are in their safe place. The bathroom is probably the best place for them to go right now. And I will go ahead and draw another storm track on here. We just want to make sure that you are safe. We'll check out the winds as well to make sure that we're not looking at missing anything and making sure that we're not seeing any debris signatures in this area, which we're not, which is also good. That lets us know that we're not seeing any debris in the air right now, so that's good. As far as our hail is concerned, we've been watching for the rotation, especially if you live right here in Helena and West Helena. This is the worst part of the storm. So you definitely need to make sure that you are paying close attention because this shear is showing a little bit more shear in that area. Not enough for us to see some very strong rotation, but it is definitely getting stronger there as well. So here's another look at that radar. I'll put another storm track on it just so that we are all on the same page here across the Mid-South. I will draw a cone instead. There we go. So Maud at 1:45 p.m., Clayton at 1:47 p.m., Evansville at 1:50 p.m., Little Texas at 1:56 p.m., Savage at 2 o'clock, Cottonville at 2:03, Longtown at 2:06, and Crockett at 2:09 p.m., Coldwater High School 2:17, also in Senatobia. So please make sure that you are weather aware. This storm really started gaining strength once again, and they have just upped that tornado warning because of the hail size, and that is for DeSoto, Tate, Mississippi, and Tunica for now. So they did remove Phillips County, Arkansas. So once they remove that other polygon, we will get a better look exactly what we're looking at. I'll zoom out just a little bit. So what they're doing is they're trimming back the storm, and they're removing Phillips County, Arkansas, but they have kept it in place for DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica, Mississippi, as well as Lee County, Arkansas. So if you're in Lee County, you're not out of the woods just yet, just barely. However, this is definitely a North Mississippi storm that we are watching. And I'm going to draw another cone on there and zoom out just a little bit so you can see exactly what we're talking about. And it is Saturday, and like I said, if you are in this area, you need to make sure that everyone knows that this storm is coming, because it could be having some heavy rainfall, some high winds, and as of right now, they just indicated that the hail size is greater than 1.5 inches. So please make sure that you are weather aware. We keep saying that. Make sure you have multiple ways to get communication in case people are losing power. Even though we're not confirming a tornado on the ground in this area, that does not mean that it couldn't cause any damage. So please make sure that you are prepared for that and get into your safe place if you are in one of those towns, especially near Byhalia. You have quite some time to get there. If you live in Maud, you have around 2 minutes to get there. Little Texas at 1:51 p.m., Crenshaw at 1:58 p.m., as well as Senatobia at 2:12 p.m. That is where the core of this storm will be setting up very, very shortly. It is continuing to push off to the east. We're starting to hear a little bit of heavy rainfall here at in our studio. So the rain is picking up. These storms are starting to populate a little bit more across the Mid-South, but it's definitely not enough right now to really issue more warnings or more tornado warnings at the very least. So now that we are talking to the National Weather Service, let's see. Okay. So we are continuing to watch some of these storms. I'll zoom out just a little bit so that I can keep my eye on the storms that are in West Tennessee. And if you guys have any cameras that are in the back that are in this area near Tunica and North Mississippi, let me know, and we can definitely take those so that we can see exactly what's going on outside. As of right now, we're not seeing any major rotation, but I keep checking this year, especially near that West Helena portion of the storm, and I'm not really seeing much rotation, which is good news for us. And as far as, our debris detector, not seeing anything that would, indicate a tornado is on the ground. Our weather team, we were talking after the last time we came on the air about the leaves falling. I mean, that is definitely something that you need to be aware of, because even if you're not seeing that high winds, the heavy rainfall could cause some localized flooding. So please make sure that you are aware of that, especially if you live in a flood-prone area. We haven't gotten a good amount of rainfall in a long time. We have been shedding leaves quite a lot in the last few days and weeks. So please make sure that you are aware of that. There's a little bit of lightning, not too much, but it is right there by Helena and West Helena. So that's why I said that is definitely the strongest part of that storm right now. If we take a look at some storm tracks, that will also help us just a little bit, and we can call out some more town names in 1 second once we figure out what's going on. So that is telling us there's some really heavy rainfall falling right now. So once the storm continues to move, you're going to see all of that rainfall that actually fell right now. This storm, it wasn't this intense when we went off the last time. So this is why we always tell people to make sure that they know what's going on outside their door, simply because you could see that some of these storms will get weak, then they'll regain strength, and then they'll get weak once again. So right now, you definitely need to make sure that you are in your safe place if you are in Tunica, because that is our concerned area right now. I'm going to put another storm track on here myself so that we can talk a little bit better about what's happening in this moving east. All right, so Clayton at 1:46 p.m. Once again, it is 1:43 p.m. So Clayton at 1:46, Evansville at 1:49 p.m., Little Texas at 1:55 p.m., Savage at 1:59 p.m., Cottonville at 2:02 p.m., Trinity at 2:09 p.m., Hernando Village Air Park at 2:16 p.m., Senatobia at 2:16 p.m., Hernando at 2:20 p.m., and Hago at 2:26 p.m. Please make sure that you are in your safe place. We're definitely seeing a little bit of a tightening rotation with this storm as it gets closer and closer to Tunica right now. The tornado warning has, not produce a tornado. We haven't heard of any debris in that area or any damages just yet, but it is definitely still a concerning storm that we're keeping our eye on, and it looks like it's kind of gaining strength as it continues to push across North Mississippi and into Tunica County. So please make sure that you are aware of what's going on. If you know anyone that lives in that area, give them a call and let them know what's going on. If you are just now joining us, let's tell you exactly why we are on the air right now so that you are aware there is a tornado warning. It is in effect until 2:15, so that's another 30 minutes here. It is for DeSoto, Lee, Tate, and Tunica counties until 2:15. It is radar indicated, so that lets us know it's not confirmed. We haven't had a confirmation that there's a tornado, but we are definitely continuing to watch this cell as we're seeing it tighten just a little bit. So it is a organized storm. It's really big. We're starting to see it gain a little bit of strength here. So please make sure that you are weather aware. You know exactly what's going on in this area. We know it's Saturday afternoon at 1:46. We know a lot of people are out and about, but if you are at home right now, please make sure that you have the people that are out in that area on standby and on alert for some possible large storms. In fact, guys in the back, if you have any cameras along I-55 going towards Hernando, that would be great for us to pull up as we prepare to watch this storm continue to push off to the east. That's going to be probably the best cameras that we can see as far as this storm is concerned. It hasn't arrived at I-55 yet, but it definitely probably going to get very, very close. So I'm going to draw another storm track on it so that we can have a better idea of what's going on. So if you're in any of these areas, please make sure that you are weather aware and that you know where you're going and get there quickly. Make sure that you are away from your windows. Make sure that you're in a basement. If you have a basement, maybe get into your storm shelter. I know some people in North Mississippi have storm shelters. Make sure you're there. Make sure that you're comfortable because this tornado warning does not expire until 2:15 this afternoon. And this is just the beginning of it right now. We've been watching these storms kind of develop over the last hour or so. And I'll zoom out just a little bit so we can see a larger view of our viewing area. As of right now, you can see this one storm system is the one that we're keeping our eye on for that tornado warning, and it is getting a little bit tighter here in the Metro Memphis area, only seeing some downpours right now, keeping an eye on them. These storms that are to the north of us are out of our viewing area, which is good news, but they're still continuing to push some very high winds and very strong portions of the storm. We do have some heavy rainfall. This area right here is literally above our studio right now, and this storm down in Tunica is definitely cause for concern. So we're going to zoom in one more time. And they're saying that we have a look at I-55. Can we go ahead and see that, please? So this is the storm that is coming along. So it hasn't quite started raining yet. Where is this? I-55 and where? And 269. So I-55 and 269 right now. There's a lot of people out. I mean, it is 1:48 in the afternoon. So definitely want to make sure that you are in your safe place in North Mississippi because this storm is coming. We can go ahead and go back to my radar really quickly because I need to put another storm track on this storm to make sure that people know exactly what they're doing. But yes, that line you saw, that was where that storm is headed. So I-55 near 269, that is the best place right now for you to see some possible storms that are headed that way. Here's another storm track for you. Once again, if you are in Tunica, I can't stress this enough. I know a lot of people go out and about, and it is Saturday afternoon. Maybe a lot of people aren't quite at the casinos just yet, but if you know someone who might be on the way, please make sure that they have a heads up that this storm is definitely on the stronger side, and it is a tornado-warned storm, so you have to treat it as if it has produced a tornado. So we drew this a little bit larger for you. Currently, it's 1:48 p.m. So if you're in Clayton, you should be in your safe place. Little Texas, once again, 1:57 p.m. Savage at 2:01 p.m. Cottonville at 2:04 p.m. as well as Strayhorn at 2:06 p.m. Northwest Academy at 2:09 p.m. Crockett at 2:10 p.m. And that's not Crockett County, that's Crockett in North Mississippi. Senatobia at 2:18 p.m. Senatobia Community Hospital. Please make sure that everyone is in their safe place there at 2:19. 2:21 p.m. love. So this storm is definitely still on the stronger side. Even if we see it weakening, you still need to be in your safe place because high winds, heavy rainfall, still a concern for us this afternoon. So it might not be raining where you are right now, but this tornado warning storm has continued to gain strength as it continues to push to the east. We're going to make sure, once again, that we're not looking at any possible debris signatures, which is good for us. As of right now, storm winds are still obviously going to be high, but we're not seeing any concerning winds right now that are making it to the ground. But I think hail will also be one of our, So check out this hail core here. This is letting us know that the hail size is really intense in that area. So sometimes we just kind of have to keep investigating this storm and see exactly what's going on, right? So right north of Maud, you're looking at hail that could be greater than an inch. That could definitely cause some damage. You definitely need to make sure that you are away from those windows because hail can definitely do some damage for cars, roofs. We've seen plenty of hail damage here in the Mid-South, and you know exactly how bad it really can get. But this area right north of Maud is where the strongest part of that storm is located. So please make sure that I know I keep saying it, but please make sure that you are aware of that. And as you saw that update, that hail size actually went up. So that tells us that the hail core is getting stronger, and that also tells us that that storm is not quite weakening just yet. So you need to make sure that you are prepared as well. Now, as far as this storm is concerned, even if the rotation in it stops, calms down, they could continue this as a severe thunderstorm warning. But until then, we're going to stay on so that you all know exactly what's going on. So once again, if you are north of Maud, this part of the storm is causing some really large size hail right now. So please make sure that you are aware of that. There's nothing you can do about hail, unfortunately. You're really not going to be seeing, anything other than just getting away from those windows just in case it's hitting your window. I mean, even here in the Metro Memphis area last night, we had hail hitting our windows, but when we were talking about hail that's nearly 2 inches, that's really big hail. You're almost talking about almost golf-sized hail here. This is looking at your hail track. So Helena, West Helena, you can see exactly which way the storm is moving. So it's going to be a little bit south of North Tunica, but you still need to make sure that you're in your safe place, and that hail core is still continuing to increase right now. I'll put the radar back on so we can see exactly, man, this storm is definitely really nasty. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to do some street call outs here so that you know exactly what's going on and where you need to be because this storm is on the stronger side. So Limerick Road, Sarah Road, you guys need to be in your safe place at this time. In fact, this is right near Little Texas and Savage. I know I've said you guys quite some times, but please make sure that you're in your safe place. Gum Pond Road, 7 Mile Ginn Road, Highway 4, which is near Little Texas. Please make sure you are in your safe place at this time. Arca Butler Road, make sure you are in your safe place at this time. Coldwater Pike, as well as Coldwater River Levee. Please make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. We just got a new warning, so that is a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that's for Benton County in Tennessee. But we are still focused, and I do mean really focused on this storm that is in North Mississippi. I'm going to go ahead and draw another polygon on there because it is definitely very imperative that we're continuing to watch the leading edge of this storm to make sure that we're on it so that you all know. It's 1:52 p.m. and I keep saying, Savage, please make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. Strayhorn, 2:04 p.m. Crockett at 2:06 p.m. Buxton at 2:09 p.m. and Senatobia at 2:15 p.m. You can see right here at Evansville, that is crazy right there. That purple is telling us that is some really heavy rainfall. In fact, let's see if we can query that to see exactly what we're looking at. Yeah, so the rainfall near Evansville in North Mississippi is very, very heavy. So please make sure that you are prepared for that. After the storm passes, you could be seeing some localized flooding in that area. So definitely another concerning thing. We want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. And just in case, for some reason, you just now joined us and you live in North Mississippi, it's important for you to know that there is a tornado warning right now for DeSoto, Lee, Tate, and Tunica counties until 2:15, and it's 1:53 p.m. So we're looking at some really heavy rainfall right now. So it's very important that you are taking your time. I know a lot of people are out and about. I know it is Saturday afternoon. Maybe you're watching us in a restaurant. Make sure you're not sitting next to a window at this time. Make sure that you are taking cover at this time. Okay. We'll take that in 1 second because that's a little bit north of the storm. That camera is going to be right here. We want to make sure that we're going to keep talking about these people down here in Tunica, but it is some heavy rainfall. I can see that camera. It's some heavy rainfall in Horn Lake right now, but you know the main portion of this storm is in very close to Tunica County here. I'm going to do another storm track for you. 1:55 p.m. for Savage. If you know anyone that lives in Savage, give them a call. The good news is we're not hearing of any damages. We're not hearing of anything concerning that's coming out of this warning. It's a warning, but it's not a confirmed tornado. This is just so that people know that this storm could produce a tornado. There's enough capability in this one cell to see some tornadic energy. Coldwater at 2:02 p.m., Strayhorn at 2:05 p.m., Crockett. I keep saying Crockett. I don't want you to get confused. This is not Crockett County. This is Crockett in North Mississippi. That's at 2:09 p.m. Independence at 2:14 p.m. Rock Hill at 2:19 p.m. Senatobia at 2:20 p.m. and Newtown at 2:28 p.m. This storm is getting really close to I-55 near Senatobia. So you definitely want to make sure if you know anyone that's traveling, give them a heads up. Hey, this storm is headed that way. The rainfall from the storm out in front is headed that way. The strongest point of that storm is right near Savage, and we've called that out quite some time. As of right now, we are not seeing we're not seeing them talk about any debris in that area or any damage, which is great. No one is saying that anything is confirmed. And based off of what I'm looking at over here, I'm not seeing much from this storm as far as a confirmed tornado on the ground. There's a little bit of rotation in it, and that's why they have issued this tornado warning just in case it does get stronger and gain strength as it continues to push eastward. But I think the worst part of this storm is really the hail size and the hail that it is producing anywhere along Highway 4 right now. I really hope that you are prepared. This is near Clayton, and as you can see, still greater than an inch. So that is something that you have to make sure that you are paying attention to. This hail size could do some really bad damage. Greater than an inch is just crazy. That's when you really start to see those severe thunderstorm warnings to be issued. And that just lets you know that you need to get inside. So if you know anyone that works outside, hopefully they already know to get inside at this time because of this tornado warning. And it is 1:57. They have not canceled this tornado warning, but now they are talking about the hail size that is being reported in Tunica County. As of right now, there is no size, but they are seeing reports. And, right here near North Tunica, that's really concerning, especially if someone is outside right now. I'll do a little bit of a reset too so that we all can see what's going on, especially if you live outside of this area. Some of these storms are gaining a little bit of strength, but as far as we're looking into the metro Memphis area right now, we're not seeing any really great storms, which tells us that that's good. That's letting us know that, we're not seeing any damage in Memphis or any in Shelby County. To the north of us, though, we were watching some storms that were in Crockett County. You all still have some severe thunderstorm warnings. That was newly issued. They just updated this tornado warning and just saw that come in. So they canceled Lee, Arkansas from that tornado warning, but they continued it for DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica, Mississippi. So now this tornado warning is only for DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica counties in Mississippi. And I'll click their bulletin so I can get a little bit more information from it, and we will read it together. This severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado over Little Texas, which is where I've been saying. Make sure you're in your safe place. We're 18 miles west of Senatobia, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. As of right now, it looks like it will still be in effect until 2:15 p.m. So they did not extend the time, but they did remove Lee County in Arkansas. So I'll zoom back in and I'll do another storm track on it so that we are up to date with the latest of who needs to be prepared for this storm. So once again, if you're in Tunica County, you definitely need to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. Current time right now is 1:59. It's about to turn 2 o'clock. So Cottonville at 1:59 right now, you need to be in your safe place. This storm could produce a tornado. We're not saying that it has. We haven't seen any reports of anything like that. We don't even have reports of any damage. But this storm could produce a tornado, and that's why they have the tornado warning on it. So Cottonville at 1:59 p.m., please be in your safe place. Savage at 2:03 p.m. You want to make sure that you are there. Strayhorn at 2:08 p.m. Senatobia at 2:10 p.m. and Newtown at 2:13 p.m. and Loxahoma at 2:18 p.m. and McGee at 2:23 p.m. and Como at 2:25 p.m. Please make sure that you are aware that this storm is headed your way. As of right now, it looks like high winds and hail will be your main concern here. Even though this storm might not be producing a tornado, we could still see some pretty, bad damage in that area, especially as far as hail is concerned. We're talking about an inch of hail, and that is definitely damaging. You want to make sure that you are away from windows for sure, not in those cars, because that could definitely break a windshield for sure. And it looks like they have updated our severe weather outlook. So let's give that a look and see what's going on. Still the same. We're all still in a level 2. And that means that everybody in our entire viewing area can still anticipate some possible strong to severe thunderstorms. So please make sure that you are aware of that. Not only are we in that level 2, but we are also in a tornado watch. But here's an update for you. They have trimmed some of our counties out of that tornado watch. So that's good. If you live in Poinsett, Cross, St. Francis, or maybe even in Lee County, it looks like you have been removed from that tornado watch. Dyer County and Lauderdale County, as well as Tippah County, you guys have been removed. Shelby County, we are still in that tornado watch, and that is going to be until 7 p.m. But as you can see, we do have a tornado warned storm that is moving through North Mississippi right now. As of right now, we're not hearing of any damages, which is great news. But man, this warning and this storm, it got intense in a hurry, and that's another reason why they went ahead and they issued it. My main concern with that storm will definitely be the hail size and the amount of rain that is falling. In fact, if we click on this area right here that's purple, that lets us know that this is a lot of rain that's falling. That's not quite making it to the ground per se, but this amount of rainfall can definitely cause some possible flooding in that area. So please make sure that you are prepared, and that you know that if you live in a flood-prone area, you don't want to leave the house too fast after this warning has been expired. Also, the hail size for this is quite impressive. And when we say impressive, our weather terms are opposite of what they should be. But when we say impressive, that means that it is showing some really large sized hail. And every time we refresh this, it gets to be a little bit deeper into that hail core, which is, very intense. If you've ever heard hail, which here in Memphis, I heard hail last night, we're talking about greater than an inch. So that's definitely going to cause some damage no matter where you live if you have this hail core by you. And unfortunately, the storm is moving kind of slow. It's not a fast moving storm. So hopefully no one is outside right now. Hopefully everyone is in their safe place. It's very imperative that you are making sure that you are. As far as lightning strikes are concerned, we're not seeing too many lightning strikes, cloud to ground lightning, which is good, but still that heavy rainfall and that hail is still very, very concerning. We will do some more storm tracks and see exactly what's going on in this area. And this is what we wanted to see. So the last time we did this, our tornado impact said 0. This tornado impact is at a 3.4. So definitely still a very strong storm right now. Maximum hail size is 2 inches. So I'm telling you, the hail is very, very impressive with this storm. And look at that latest scan. That tornado impact went up from a 3 to a 7.5. So we're going to keep saying on this storm right now. So Senatobia at 2:35 p.m., Coldwater at 2:35 p.m. as well. It's 2:03, so you have plenty of time to get in your safe place if you're there. Hernando at 2:38 p.m., Olive Branch at 2:59 p.m. The probability of hail and severe size hail is 100% because, I mean, we've been tracking it together. You could see definitely looking at a very strong hail storm right there. Let's see here. They are talking about this storm in Tunica County. It is noisy and it has some signatures of good supercell. Well, yes. So that lets us know that we are tracking the storm appropriately. Honestly, the supercell is very impressive here. And I'm going to put another storm track on there so that people can get into their safe place just in case they are not quite there yet. There you go. So time now is 2:04 p.m. in Savage. You've had ample amount of time, but please, if you know anyone who lives in Savage, maybe give them a call and let them know that this tornado warning storm is headed their way. Strayhorn at 2:13 p.m., Crockett at 2:17 p.m., Polkville at 2:24 p.m., Senatobia at 2:26 p.m., Newtown at 2:30 p.m., and Luxahoma at 2:37 p.m. Please make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. You know, hail has definitely been our biggest concern with this one supercell that we've been watching, and the heavy rainfall involved with it, definitely seeing some heavy rainfall. I am, glad to report as of right now, we're not seeing really great shear signatures. Shear is what we look at for rotation. That lets us know if this storm is rotating really well. If we saw red and green in this area right now, that would be almost, a confirmation almost of that would be a tornado on the ground. This area right here by Savage is where the strongest point of that storm is. So you need to be in your safe place if you live in that area. However, we're not seeing any, confirmation that there is a tornado on the ground, but that doesn't mean that the winds aren't high. That doesn't mean that the hail is not large or that the rain is not heavy. That just lets us know that as of right now, the radar is not indicated a tornado on the ground. Here's a look at our tracks for this storm. You can literally see where that storm is tracking. So if you're headed in Coldwater on I-55, definitely want to have a heads up, because even if they take this tornado warning down, you're still going to be seeing strong parts of this storm that will still be severe. In fact, really severe, especially as far as that hail size is concerned right now. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a reset because there's also other storms that we are watching here across the Mid-South, and I want to make sure that I don't miss any storms as well either. As we zoom out just a little bit, this storm that is in Crockett County looking to weaken and be out of Crockett County. They've just taken Crockett County out of that severe thunderstorm warning, which is great. We're not seeing any major impacts here in the metro Memphis area. However, this storm that is in Tunica County and Tate County in Mississippi, that's a storm that we are continuing to watch. There's also another storm that is forming down in Arkansas. It looks like Phillips County, Arkansas. Some of our counties have been removed from that tornado watch, which is great. However, those of us that live in North Mississippi, you need to make sure that you're weather aware for the next few hours. It looks like around 7 or 8 o'clock, we'll start to see things calming down. But for now, we're really keeping our eye on these storms. And I'll zoom in just a little bit more so we can get another update on this one supercell. It's very impressive. It does not look like it's weakening very much, and that is a little bit concerning because that means that we're going to start to see this really getting closer and closer to I-55. Here's another grab for you for those people that are waiting to see where this storm is going to go. Please make sure that you are in your safe place. Right now it's 2:07, about to be 2:08 p.m. Cottonville at 2:09 p.m. Arkabutla at 2:14 p.m. Crockett at 2:16 p.m. Senatobia at 2:23 p.m. Senatobia Community Hospital at 2:24 p.m. Love as well at 2:25 p.m. Newtown at 2:25 2:27 p.m., Polkville at 2:31 p.m., Alphaba at 2:32 p.m. and Independence at 2:35 p.m. And that gives you plenty of time for you all to make sure that you are in your safe place. So if you live anywhere from Arkabutla down that I just called out, make sure that you are in your safe place. You have plenty of time to get there. Make sure that you are giving people a call and giving them a heads up as well. Okay, so good news here. They're going to take away this tornado warning for Tunica County, and they are going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So not the best news. That does not mean that you are clear by any means, but what that is saying is that they are going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So I'm going to stay on with you guys just because, for one, that hail core is so impressive. It's definitely a cause for a concern. So even if they completely take away this tornado warning, this severe thunderstorm warning is definitely still impacting people, and it's going to continue to get closer and closer to I-55 in Hernando. So guys in the back, if you could maybe find a camera for I-55 near Hernando or Senatobia, that would be great as well to show people what's happening. Also, maybe that camera that was at I-55 and 269, if we could take that again, that will probably show us some pretty good rainfall. The strongest part of the storm, unfortunately, is not going to have any of those MDOT cameras with it, but as it continues to push east, we're going to start to see more and more of that rain be impacted. So as far as we're watching for this storm, we can go ahead and take that 269 and I-55 camera. So we're going to start to see this cloud kind of open up, some heavy rainfall. In fact, you can see maybe that storm has already gone through. So the roadway definitely looks a little bit wet out there. It's not bouncing. Sometimes you can see those cameras kind of bouncing as the winds get higher. So that lets us know that at least the winds aren't too high. I'm telling you, with this storm, it's really concerning for the hail size. That's what I'm more concerned about. Let's go ahead and go back to the radar. So it looks like it says that they've dropped the tornado warning, but I haven't quite seen it drop just yet. So we're definitely going to stay on the air with you all just in case. The warning isn't supposed to expire until 2:15, so they'll probably let it expire at 2:15 and just keep that severe thunderstorm warning up there. But I'm going to draw another track on there for you guys so that you all can know exactly where we're talking about with this hail and high wind event. Definitely seeing some really big size hail with this storm, at least radar indicated. We had a few reports in our National Weather Service chat that also said that there was some pretty big size hail, but we haven't seen any pictures or anything like that to confirm it, but our radar has indicated some really big hail. So if you're in Coldwater, you have about 5 minutes to get into your safe place. Bowman at 2:19 p.m., Senatobia at 2:22 p.m., and even, like I said, even if they cancel this tornado warning, you want to make sure that you're in your safe place. Just because this storm is so strong, it's not going to just stop, right? It's going to continue to push off to the east. It's still going to be dropping some heavy rainfall. It's still going to be having some large size hail. So please make sure that you are in your safe place, even if they do expire this tornado warning in the next 4 minutes. Bowman at 2:19 p.m., Senatobia at 2:22 p.m., Newtown at 2:26 p.m., Crossroad at 2:31 p.m., Titera at 2:33 p.m., Aiken at 2:34 p.m., and Chulahoma at 2:40 p.m. That's what we're watching for right now. We're not really seeing any reports of large hail or wind damage just yet from this storm, but our radar is really picking up on some strong hail size. In fact, let's check that out again to see exactly if it has updated. Oh man. I'm telling you, every time we refresh this, you're really seeing how large this hail core is right in there. It's getting larger. So, I mean, Savage, Arkabutla, Crockett. Once again, don't get confused. Not Crockett County in Tennessee, but we're talking about Crockett in Mississippi, the city, excuse me. You can see how big that hail core is. I mean, that is very, very impressive there. So you want to make sure that you are, away from your windows. That's the only thing you can do. Unfortunately, with hail, you can't do much. You can't, be proactive. You can't be really have a plan at all with hail, because it just is going to fall out the sky, and it could do some damage to some cars, some roofing, as well as windows. So we're looking at an impressive hail core that radar is indicating maybe greater than 1.5 inches. So that is definitely something that we will continue to keep our eye on. I'm going to do a little bit of a reset and take a look at another storm that they are talking about in our chat that could be impacting Shelby County. So let's go back here and turn the radar on and take a look at what they are talking about. Here we go. Alrighty, so as of right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning that we have is in Tunica County and in Tate, and that's producing some pretty good sized hail, but we're definitely keeping our eye on some possible stronger storms that could be forming a little bit in Shelby County, and I'm assuming that that is the cell that they're talking about, that it's headed towards Germantown right now. So if you are in Germantown, you need to make sure that you are away from your windows as well, because these storms they've been kind of creating some high winds, heavy rainfall, and maybe even some larger size hail as well. I'm going to put another storm track until they cancel this warning to just, keep our eye on it and see what exactly is happening, so that we can know where people need to be and what's going on. And they are going to be issuing another severe thunderstorm warning for Phillips and Coahoma counties. There we go. So Coldwater at 2:16 p.m., Crockett and 2:18 p.m., Polkville at 2:18 p.m., Senatobia. Once again, if you're in Senatobia, we've been saying you over and over again, so make sure that you are in your safe place. Newtown at 2:25 p.m., Aiken at 2:27 p.m., and McGee at 2:29 p.m. That is our latest storm track on this storm. Please make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. In fact, let's take a look at that 269 and I-55 camera once again, if we can, Sergio, because that is showing the rainfall that is on the roads. You can see that people are kind of, traveling as normal, but there's more rainfall that is headed that way. Please make sure, if you are traveling or if you know anyone that's coming in town, it is Saturday, maybe out shopping, make sure that they know that these storms are continuing to develop. Make sure they know that, these storms are on the strong to severe side, and that the winds are increasing. I know when we first came on, I was telling you that this camera wasn't shaking, but you can see that the winds have started picking up, and you can see have a little bit of a bounce to it. So please make sure that you know before you go that these storms are going to continue, and they have actually just canceled that tornado warning. So we can go ahead and take back the radar for me. That would be great. And I'll take this off, and I'm going to do a complete reset and just make sure that everybody knows exactly what's going on. And I'll do a little bit of a investigation to see what's going on as far as this one storm is concerned before we move along here. So as of right now, this is a severe thunderstorm warning now, right? So they canceled this tornado warning. However, the hail is still very, very serious. And in fact, this severe thunderstorm warning does say tornado possible. And that is telling us that they're not quite convinced that it cannot produce a tornado. So we'll put the information on your screen so that you have the latest bulletin on it. And I'll move this out of the way here. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning now for DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica counties, and this is going to be until 3 p.m. So right now it's 2:16, 2:17 p.m., but this is what I'm concerned about, right? They said that the threat is a tornado possible. So that lets us know that they're not quite convinced that it will not produce a tornado, but it is a severe thunderstorm warning for those counties. Once again, that is DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica counties in North Mississippi. And I will take a look at our new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is in Phillips County. And we'll get a little bit of information on this storm as well. This is near Clarksdale. So Coahoma, Phillips, and Quitman County until 3 p.m. Radar indicated that this is a severe thunderstorm warning, so they're probably watching for the high winds and the hail as well. So I'm going to reset and give us a large look at what is happening across the Mid-South, not just here, but across the area, because it's very important that we all know exactly what's happening right now. As of right now, we're not seeing any major issues, but let's see here. We'll get the camera on our side here and move this way. All right, so across the metro Memphis area, we're not really seeing much at all. There was one storm that's going through Germantown near Collierville, but we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in North Mississippi right now. The tornado warnings have been expired, which is good news. That lets us know that we're not looking at a tornado that is possible. But both of these storms that are in North Mississippi are pretty strong, so I would not be surprised if we see these storms regain strength at some point and maybe produce a tornado warning. So I'm just going to give you a heads up now. These 2 storms that are moving through Tate and Tunica County, as well as Phillips and Coahoma County, make sure that you are weather aware because they're both on the stronger side. High winds, heavy rainfall, and hail. Those are the things that we are looking at with these 2 storms that have populated. The good news is right now we haven't had any confirmation of any tornadoes at all, but it's still something that we will continue to watch for. So as we're going to do our reset, let's talk a little bit about our new, there it is. So our new severe weather outlook now has some of us in a level 3. So that has been upgraded. Some of our West Tennessee counties and North Mississippi counties are in a level 3. Some people have been removed from the level 2, but level 3 lets us know that they are going to anticipate this tornadic energy to continue over the next few hours. So you definitely don't want to be, making a mistake of going out and letting your guard down. Here is a closer look at our weather alerts right now, right? So all of the yellow, that is a tornado watch. So if you are in the yellow, it does include Shelby County now. We are under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock. I definitely want to make sure that Hardeman and McNairy County, you all, and Alcorn County, Benton County, as well as Tippah County, make sure you all are weather aware because you all have been added to that level 3. So we were all in a level 2 and some of us have been upgraded to that level 3. As of right now, what we're looking at is still some high winds, heavy rainfall, and stronger storms. This is an updated look at our future radar. So what can you anticipate over the next few hours before we get off the air? As of right now, around 3 o'clock, the time now is 2:20. So in the next hour or so, we'll start to see a little bit more rainfall here in the metro Memphis area. However, as you can see, what we're looking at, the places that are in that level 3, Hardeman County, McNairy County, get ready. Some of these storms that are in North Mississippi will continue to gain strength as well. And it looks like as we head into the 4 and 5 o'clock hour, North Mississippi, this will be your time to see more severe thunderstorms, maybe even some more tornado warnings. And that's why more places, including Holly Springs, down in Marshall County and Lafayette County, you guys are all under that level 3 risk for severe storms that could turn to be a little bit greater than that. Now, as we get into the late night hours, some rainfall could be continuing around 10 o'clock p.m. tonight, but to be honest, we're not seeing anything strong. The strong weather will have been moving to the east. I'm going to take another look at this storm before we get off the air. Once again, as of right now, they're not seeing any reports of any damage, but honestly, the storm that was in Tunica and Tate County definitely still has some pretty impressive hail. And as we take a look here, the storm that is moving in Phillips County as well, starting to get a little bit of a hail core as well. Please make sure that you are weather aware. In fact, one more time, let's take a look at that 269 camera because now you're really seeing the storm really start to increase and get a little bit stronger. Heavy rainfall falling now. You can see that camera definitely has that shake. The wind started to pick up just a little bit, and now you can see that the heavy rainfall has arrived, and this is just the beginning of it for you guys that are at that 269 I-55 stretch of area. So please make sure that you are weather aware for the next few hours. For now, because we're just looking at severe thunderstorm warnings, I'm going to go ahead and return you to regularly scheduled programming, but we are continuing to watch these storms. So don't let your guard down. We might be rejoining you again, but for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Danielle Moss.